What's up, everybody? I appreciate y'all tuning in. We are going a little bit late. I just decided to do an impromptu show this evening. I know a lot of other people kind of did their post games yesterday, kind of right after the game. So I decided I wanted to go ahead and do one tonight. While it was still kind of fresh on my mind and everything before all of the big wig radio guys start talking about it tomorrow on their shows. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about the Titans fall to the Bears 23-17. We're going to, go over a little bit of the stats, whose stock is up, whose stock is down, and maybe give y'all a little bit of my troubles that I had to deal with in watching the game myself. So, we're definitely going to get into that. And we're definitely going to talk about it. So definitely go ahead and come on in, and we're going to get this show started in just a few moments, and we going to get ready to tighten up. So we're going to get this show started in less than 60 seconds.
Hope you can still go. I never ran, sitting on, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter and
Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody? Yo, what's going on, Titan Nation? How's everybody doing out there on YouTube? Also on Facebook. Welcome into TNT Recap here on the Titans of Truth channel. I am your host, Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth, and we're definitely going to talk about the Titans falling to the Bears 23-17 yesterday in preseason game number 1. But before we do get ready with all that, make sure y'all do share this show out. Go ahead and follow me, whether you're on Facebook, the TNT Enforcers page is where you could go. Also on Twitter, aka X. You can follow me at TNT Blue Enforcer, and then also on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth. You can definitely follow me there. And definitely, if you want to, help the channel and everything, make sure you definitely go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Go ahead and hit that like button and definitely help me out. If you're watching on Facebook as well, you could do the same thing. Definitely help me out also. And then make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. Go ahead and hit subscribe and go ahead and ring the bell on YouTube, so that way whenever I go live, you will be able to come and join on this show. And then if you just happen to not be able to catch the visual of me, the very next day I will have this show on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well. So definitely you can definitely check me out there and download as well. So definitely check me out and let me know what you do think of the show. Let me know if there's things I could do better. Let me know if there's things that I'm good at or not good at. So definitely let me know, and we're definitely going to have some fun. But once again, I definitely do thank everybody for tuning in, and we're going to go ahead and get the show started. And as y'all see on the graphic, you have Malik Willis versus Justin Fields. Unfortunately, the Titans do fall to the Chicago Bears 23-17. And I thought I pulled that graphic up, but I guess I did not. But I am going to fix that right away. Give me just a second. But nice little story before we get into the game. I had my own issues trying to watch this game. I don't know if anybody else did as well, but I had I had some issues trying to watch the game because I was trying to I thought it was just going to automatically be on um my channel 3, which is CBS, but it's also WREG channel 3 here in Memphis, and it was not showing the game at all. It was showing um some 3-on-3 hockey. And so I'm thinking, okay, what's going on? How come I can't watch the game? And obviously on my TV, unfortunately, I don't have NFL Network under cable. And so I was basically listening to the radio broadcast. And I know somebody else was streaming it from their phone, showing the television they were looking at. So I was looking at it that way. And then out the blue, I'm just like, well, let me see if I can look on demand and see if I can find the game. And then I found it on our Channel 3 substation. And then I was able to watch the game there. So, finally was able to watch the game, where it still had me a little ticked off that I had to go through all of that to get to the game. But I was actually able to watch it. I think I got through close to the end of the first half. That's what I was able to do, and I was able to watch the entire second half. But yeah, that was my troubling story. Thanks a lot, NFL, for messing up my experience. So now I kind of have an idea of what not to look for, and I'll kind of have myself together next week, although next week I'm gonna be a little preoccupied and not be able to watch the game. But I'm gonna try to see if I can find a way to record it or something like that, and then that way I can go back and watch it later. So I'm definitely gonna be testing that and see what I can do. But I do see a few people on Facebook, and I definitely do appreciate people watching. I also see some other people coming in via YouTube and everything. So of course I will give greetings to the lady, the right hand lady of Titans and Truth, the lovely Mrs. Definitely excited that football season is back. Definitely got Steve Crosio, we got Hakeem, we got Over Chicken, we got Titan Fox. I see we got quite a few people in here. We got the Fraser man in here. So definitely do appreciate everybody tuning in. So let's go ahead and get into this game. And the Tennessee Titans do fall 23-17 to the Chicago Bears. Malik Willis started off the game very well with a 12-play drive. I was listening to that, got a 12-play drive, got down into the red zone, got a big play from Chris Moore, and that ended up resulting in a touchdown run for Malik Willis. And then what they did was alternate quarterbacks every series. So the first series was Malik Willis, then the next one was Will Levis, and they went back and forth, which I thought was a little confusing. I thought maybe each quarterback gets a couple of series in rhythm to kind of get in a rhythm instead of going back and forth and everything. But I guess, you're trying to give everybody equal opportunity. I definitely liked how the first team offensive line played. They only played one series. I honestly thought that they should have had the first team offensive line with both Willis and Will Levis to kind of give Levis a shot with the first team offensive line as well. So that's kind of what I thought that they could have done, is give Will Levis kind of the same courtesy as that. But there was a lot to like with Malik, and then there was a couple of things with Will Levis that was good. He led a touchdown drive as well after a turnover. Good job by the special teams on that. And then, there was, of course, some mistakes as well. Malik, there was a couple of times where Malik held the ball a little bit too long, but I definitely do think he had some very good moments. Will Levis, not so much. I think there's some ways to go with him there. And then, kind of once the first teamers were kind of off, the backups, they had their time. So, Malik goes 16 to 25, 189. He did throw a pick, which I don't think was entirely his fault. We'll talk more about that later. He also had 3 carries, 22 yards, and a touchdown. Will Levis, of course, went 9 of 14, 85 yards, and he threw that game-ending interception as well. So, yeah, I honestly will have to give the first round of this round of 3 to Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis is ahead. I think Malik Willis is ahead of Will Levis, despite what some people, Chris Frazier, would admit. But I just think that Malik Willis is ahead right now, in my honest opinion. Now, it is the preseason, so we do have to take this with a grain of salt. It's only the preseason. There's a whole lot more game to be played. Of course, we're going to be talking maybe toward the end of the show, kind of preparing for Wednesday. The Titans head north. They're going to be doing joint practices with the Vikings. That's going to be where we really start to see maybe some players separate themselves from the rest of the pack that they might be dealing with. So we're definitely going to see that. Now, on the other side, before I go to the other side, I did like some things from Tyjae Spears and everything in the run game. A couple of receivers tried to make a few plays. Trayshawn Harrison, Mason Kinsey, definitely they're trying to fight tooth and nail. We had a Racey McMath showing somewhere and things like that. So, there were definitely some things going on there, but also, you had to look at the kicking situation as well. So that's why I tried to tell everybody, and, I see Miss Mims, how you doing? Glad you could join us. And I had a conversation with Miss Mims and some others, and I said, don't look at this game. Don't look at the preseason as, oh my God, Titans got to win. Titans got to win. Got to win every game. Preseason is not about wins and losses, y'all. It's about evaluating. It is about seeing who develops, who looks good, who doesn't. Who's battling for those last couple of spots, who's battling for a starting job right now, because there are some jobs that are open. Right now there's a job behind Derrick Henry as the second running back. There's a job right now maybe for that last 1 or 2 spots at wide receiver, even though I think it's really 1 spot that's left. The battle at right tackle is a pretty big thing that's going on. On the defensive side, who's going to play behind Arden Key, Harold Landry, Rashard Weaver? Who's going to step up and be that 4th edge rusher? Who's going to step up behind Tierra Tart, Danico Autry, and take the helm at the defensive line position and behind Big Jeff? Cornerback depth, safety depth. Those are all things. This is what the preseason is about. Who's going to be the kicker? That's another thing. That is what this preseason is all about. It is not about wins and losses. It is not about that. So the Titans fall yesterday. I'm not mad. I'm not one bit upset that the Titans lost this game, because in the end, this game, results-wise, wins and losses don't mean a thing. But what happened in the game does matter. So that is something that we're definitely going to get into. We'll get to a couple of comments. His old self had a bad offensive line. Of course, Chris Frazier, not really a big fan of Malik. And that's another thing. It's time for some of y'all to, quit trying to throw Malik away. Too many of y'all was just ready to throw Malik away in the trash after last season. Yes, he lost the job to Josh Dobbs. But if Josh Dobbs was so great, the Tennessee Titans would have brought him back. And they didn't. They wanted to give Malik a fair opportunity, and I think now he is. He is getting, he's getting every possible opportunity to win that other job. Keon said, I know it's preseason, but another 17-point game and loss after last season is not a good show of faith. Again, this is not about the result. It is about who looks good and who doesn't. Because there were some guys that looked good, and there were also some guys that didn't look so good. And we're definitely going to go into that as well. I saw Ben on Facebook says, absolutely not about the wins. It's preseason. Exactly. It's preseason, y'all. We're going to get to the regular season where the wins and losses really will matter. Then, yeah, you have every right to be mad when we win or if we lose. I'll be right there with you. And so while we're talking about the game, Coach Terrell Williams, I think, did a pretty good job as acting head coach. I think he kind of got his feet wet. The game wasn't too crazy out of hand or anything like that. I think they got into a lot of situations that they wanted to see themselves in so that they could kind of see where we're at. They got into the opening drive. We used to have trouble scoring on opening drives. They also kind of wanted to get into a 2-minute situation and see what happens. Can we get a touchdown or a field goal to get some points going into the locker room? Then we also, had to see how this defense responded to adversity, giving up those couple of touchdowns in the beginning. So, and then at the end, both quarterbacks got the opportunity to try and win the game for the Titans, and both came up a bit short. But the great thing is, it was a good time for Coach Williams to kind of get his feet wet, to kind of see what it's like to be a head coach. And I don't think he did too bad, because I think at the end of the day is that, you want to gain that experience, because this could possibly lead to him maybe getting a look at either defensive coordinator or even as a head coach. So this was a good look for him. Very good look. A African-American coach getting a shot like this. And I think some other teams are going to follow suit. So shout out to Terrell Williams. He is an assistant head coach. He's an assistant head coach. So he's definitely getting a shot. And as Steve Crazio said, could definitely prove this is a chance for him to act the head coach just in case of an emergency, because we did have that instance where Dean Pease a couple of years ago, had some health concerns. He had to go to the hospital during the game against Indianapolis. We didn't have anybody ready to take over as defensive coordinator. Vrabel had to do it, and we all kind of know the bad things that happened there. And then Keon saying, yeah, they were trying to put their young guys in tough situations and practice execution. That's basically what that was about. It was an exercise, a good exercise that we definitely needed. So, Morocco said you hit us with a different view. Well, I decided to do a little live on Facebook as well, but you can come on over to YouTube and definitely check it out too. I know some other people think it's a better view over here than it is over here. So, we're definitely trying to do that. So shout out. And my guy, Titans Uncensored, Matt Necrone, definitely here. Because I used to say his name wrong. I used to say Matt Netrone, not Matt Necrone. So now I got it right. So definitely very good. But we're going to go ahead and get into what I like to call one of my, a segment that y'all really liked and things like that. And we're going to go into what I like to call stock up, stock down. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about who, definitely looked good and who didn't necessarily look too good. So we're about to get into that in just a bit, but giving everybody just a moment to kind of, give your thoughts. Who did y'all think looked good? And who do you think not look so good? Because there definitely were some players that they didn't look too hot, and everything. But there were some players that definitely did some things. So let's definitely talk about that as we go into stock up, stock down. Let me see. Give me just a second. Let's see. Oh, okay. I was having some issues. I thought I had some of this stuff loaded up, but I forgot to I guess I forgot to load it up earlier. Again, this is an impromptu show, so blame my brain, not my heart, on that and everything. But I do appreciate people coming on in. Even if you're not a Titans fan, if you're a football fan, I welcome all fans in because I'm going to be doing some stuff where I talk about other NFL teams as well. So definitely stay tuned for the Truth League Report. That's going to be something that I'm going to be doing during the season as well. We're definitely going to be talking about other teams and things like that. So we're going to be talking about teams in the AFC East, teams in the NFC West, teams in the North, or the NFC South. So we're definitely going to talk about that. So definitely stay tuned for that as well. But we're talking stock up, stock down. Who are some guys that definitely grew their stock and who are some guys that lost some stock? Definitely. So here we go. Let's start with stock up. And these are just a couple of guys that I thought, really did well. First off, I'm going to start with Malik. I think Malik, from year one to year two, I'm not saying he's a finished product. He's nowhere near, but he has developed very, very well. Yes, he had an interception, which really wasn't his fault, and we're going to talk about that in just a bit. But, he had, a couple of fumbles. He had a couple of fumbles. He had the strip sack where he did lose the ball, and he had the other where he was able to recover. But all in all, I think Malik did some good things. I think he was a little bit decisive. There were a couple of times he did hold the ball a little long, but for the most part, I think he's gotten better in that regard. So I definitely have to give some love to Malik Willis. I got to also give some love to the starting offensive line. So I'm talking about Andre Dillard, Peter Skoronski, Daniel Brunskill, Aaron Brewer, and Chris Hubbard. I thought they did good. And obviously, Coach Williams thought they did really good that he pulled them after one series. And so I was actually very impressed with how the offensive line was playing. Now, again, we have to see that over time, and we're definitely going to get a glimpse of that when they go up against Minnesota and they go up against some of those defensive linemen for the Vikings going up against guys like a Danielle Hunter, who just signed a 1 year deal. So you're definitely going to get a glimpse of a lot of these guys. You got a Harrison Phillips, you got a Danielle Hunter. You're definitely going to, Marcus Davenport, another guy. You're definitely going to get a look at some of these guys. And the offensive line is going to have to find a way to block these guys. So, the offensive line, I think, started off pretty well. I'm going to get to some comments on Facebook in just a minute. Trey Avery came up with an interception, even though it was overthrown. But the fact that he got the interception and was able to make a nice run back on that and was able to put the Titans in a nice position, and that was right before the aforementioned interception that we gave right back, basically. But Trey Avery has definitely improved as well. He kind of got thrown to the wolves last year. But I definitely do like where we're going with that with him. I think he definitely has a chance to be that fourth or fifth corner, behind Sean Murphy-Bunting, behind Christian Fulton, behind Roger McCreary, maybe behind Elijah Bowden. We'll definitely have to see about that. Pig Wickle says, was our start O-line playing on the first drive? Yes, that was our first O-line on that first drive. Tyjae Spears definitely shined with a nice run on the toss. It's nice to see the toss actually work for once, because we had a lot of trouble getting that toss sweep to actually work, and it has. So pretty good there with Tyjae Spears. We didn't get to see a lot of him, but very impressive on his part as well. Julius Chestnut also had a couple of nice runs. Of course, he helps on kickoff return and things like that. He does some things on special teams, which I think will be very much invaluable to this team. Now, some people won't put Caleb Shudak as a stock up, but I do believe he made his only kick from 41. He made an extra point. So I want to say Caleb Shudak is ahead right now. Let's see. Ms. Mims says, how is number 14 doing from UT Martin? That will be Colton Dowell. Got to see a little bit of him. Didn't really notice him very much. I know, he made a couple of nice catches or things like that, but I honestly did not notice him a whole lot. So that still remains to be seen. Again, it's preseason. You kind of got to take it with a grain of salt. Now, Overchicken says Willis's interception was a bit high, but that tight end had it in his hands. So overall, it was the tight end's fault. And so, a couple of people was talking about Mason Kinsey, did pretty good. Let's see. RK says offensive line played okay. And I would say the first team offensive line did okay. We're definitely going to talk about some other stuff in just a bit. Matt Necrone comes in and says Spears look good, Malik look good, Chris Moore not so much. Ty Fox says Spears and Chestnut up, Wiley Phillips down. Steven Croswell says Spears stock up. Let's see. Keon says stock up, Guerrer, Spears, Willis, undrafted free agent receivers. Yes, Eric Guerrer, I think is a dark horse guy because he did some very good things, making some open field tackles. He had some good coverage, and then also did help in the punt return game as well. So not too bad. Definitely not too bad on that. So definitely did like what I saw. But now, whenever we have a stock up, we got to have stock down. And these are some people that I thought lost some stock and everything. So I see my guy Liddell on Facebook. What's up? Morocco says Spears and Skoronski looked impressive to me. Wiley and Moore scared me. They got to do better securing the football, and I don't disagree with that. Definitely don't disagree with that. I know a lot of people thought some of the offensive line looked good. Moore didn't technically have a fumble, but he had a couple of close calls. And yeah, you got to hold on to the football. You definitely do. This man says couldn't watch it all. Definitely go watch the replay. That's definitely fine. I definitely can understand that. But some guys that didn't look good, that stock went down. The one that I definitely noticed out the gate was Josh Wiley. I noticed this cat making mistakes out the gate. 2 major mistakes that he made. One was the interception. Yes, Malik threw it a bit high. But Josh Wiley is every bit of 6'7". The guy is tall, and he had his fingertips on the ball. So in that instance, he should have brought it down. He had his hands on the ball. He should have brought it down and not had that be an interception. So, and then right behind that, makes a catch and then fumbles the football. So, Josh Wiley, not looking so hot right now. He's struggling. You know, he had some issues even getting on the field early in camp. And then you add this, not looking too hot. Not looking too hot at all. And everything. Another that really didn't help me, and this is a start down, the backup offensive line. Backups on the offensive line were terrible. With a capital T. Terrible. Guys like Xavier Newman. I think Jalen Duncan had a little bit of struggle at times. The rest of the offensive line, like the first team offensive line, didn't give up a sack. The backups gave up 8 sacks. Guys like Newman, guys like Jalen Duncan, Ruchich, NPF got in Layden. I mean, he was okay, not great or anything like that. You know, but all in all, the backup offensive line was not very good. Not very good at all. Let's see. Ms. Mims says, next question is that why they let Haskins play a few games? Also supposed to be suspended. Can they do that? Now, I don't think they've suspended Hassan Haskins just yet. They are awaiting. They are awaiting, I guess, more updates in the investigation. Let's see. I'm actually bringing that up. But I mean, I think he's definitely going to get suspended by the league, maybe at some point. But Haskins has not yet been suspended. So right now he's eligible to play every game. NPF, of course, is suspended the first 6 games of the regular season. He can practice now. So during training camp in the preseason, he can practice and he can play. But then once the regular season starts, he cannot practice or play during the first 6 weeks of the season. So that's what happened there. But backup offensive line, not very good. I see we got Ashley and the great one listening in. We got my guy Tracy watching as well. We got my boy Joseph. So what's up to everybody on Facebook? Start down also, Will Levis. I thought Will Levis kind of had a welcome to the NFL moment. I think, you know, there was a time that the game was a little bit too fast for him. And there were times he, you know, held on to the ball too long or didn't feel the pressure. There was a time where he, you know, was able to step up in the pocket and then he still trying to decide where to go with the ball. And that gave the rush more time to get to him. So, He got sacked sometime. Now, some of those sacks that Levis and Willis took were on them and not on the offensive line. There was one sack that Levis took. It was clearly on him because the tackle had the rusher outside to where Levis could step up in the pocket and make a throw, and Levis didn't let go of the ball. So Will Levis, not too hot. That's why I give the lead right now to Malik Willis. I see my guy Tyler is on here. What's up with you? Glad to see you. It's been a long time. Power Hour, I got to get him on the show. Says stop down NFL officiating. Moore's TD should not have counted due to blocking the back. And there are definitely calls. There's always a holding call on every play. It just depends on which ones get called. It just depends on which ones get called and which ones don't. And see, Chris Fraser says somebody is working out for the Titans. I am not sure who that is. Fraser, you got to be more specific who we're talking about. I'm gonna definitely try to see. I'm trying to see who he might be referring to on that, but I'm not entirely sure who you're speaking of. But yeah, Will Levis definitely thumbs down. Another thumbs down. Backup defensive backs, not named Trey Avery, not named Eric Guerra. Guys like a Armani Marsh, who I've never heard of, Chris Jackson. Elijah Molden wasn't really all that special either. Just not very good. Gave up the long touchdown run. No, Marsh, even though there may have been a block in the back, didn't make the tackle right there and, everything. So that sprung DJ Moore free. Also another play where Herbert, the running back, sprung free and scored a touchdown. There were a couple of runs where there were some missed tackles by the entire defense. So, definitely some issues there with the backup defensive backs. Also, while we're on the defensive line depth, because we really didn't get much pressure on the quarterback yesterday. I mean, Sam O and Caleb Murphy got 2 sacks, but that's about it. Jaden Peavy really didn't stand out too much. There were some other defensive linemen I didn't really notice. I didn't really notice the defensive line much at all in this game. I didn't really notice any of the other linebackers. Well, yes, I did. Chance Campbell and Gibby, I did notice them, and that was some good thing. So, but some other guys like on the defensive line, I did not notice at all. M.Dub.C, what's going on? So, defensive line depth behind Simmons, Autry, Tierre Tart, Naquan Jones, that could be an issue as well. And then last but not least, Trey Wolff. Trey Wolff made an extra point, but he also missed a 48-yard kick. And that, again, that was the thing I was mentioning earlier, was that it was a good thing to get into situations where kicking was needed, that you needed to, see what a kicker could do in a situation when you need a 48-yarder to either tie the game or to take the lead or something like that. Like I said, Shudak made his 41-yard kick, even though it didn't look great, but it went through the uprights. Wolff pushed his wide right. And so that's why I say Caleb Shudak is the leader at the moment. But we're going to be seeing them in some kicking situations as the preseason goes on, and we're going to see who ends up being the kicker, or Rand Carthon might be like, you know what? I gotta go outside of the organization. Maybe bring back my guy Robbie Gould, who is definitely still out there as a kicker. I'm trying to see what free agent kickers are still available at the moment, but but guys like Robbie Gould are still out there, and we know he's reliable. So I'm trying to see any kickers that are available. I'm looking on Spotrac, but guys like Mason Crosby, Ryan Suckup, Robbie Gould, even though they're up in their late 30s. I know a lot of people don't want Randy Bullock back, but he's available too. Some guys like that, veteran kickers, are still available, but I know they really want to give one of these guys a shot, kind of how like Stonehouse got his shot last year at punter. But but yeah, that's my stock down. Those guys, definitely some stocks down there. And then you go on the other side, you look at Cairo Santos, who has actually become a pretty decent kicker. It's like Santos and Parkey actually have become decent kickers. Greg Joseph, not too bad in Minnesota. So it makes you think maybe we gave up on some of these guys a little bit too soon. Even though Cairo Santos had that horrible game against Buffalo where every time there was a kick, I had to turn my back because I couldn't bear to watch because I knew he was going to miss the kick. And everything. So let's see. Tyler says, I got a feeling Rand is going to be picking up a fair amount of help when teams make cuts, especially offensive line and depth. Yeah, that's definitely going to happen. Where there's some guys that get cut that you're definitely going to be able to pick up. So, there's definitely going to be some things there. But definitely the Titans fall 23-17 to the Chicago Bears, of course. Up next, the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. So we're going to be going north again to Minnesota. We're going to have joint practices with the Vikings. So you're going to be seeing guys like Christian Fulton going up against Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. We're going to be going up against TJ Hawkinson and things like that. So this is going to be a good test for the Titans to go up against another team and another team's players and not your own, and see, who's going to stand out, good or bad. And that's something that we're definitely going to make sure of. Again, make sure if you haven't already subscribed to the channel here on YouTube, hit that bell and hit all so that way you get the notifications. And also smash that like button. Shout out to the Man Hour for having me on as well on the Man Hour Network. Definitely shout out to him and everything. But definitely make sure y'all follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on X, aka Twitter. And definitely go ahead and give me a follow there on those channels also. And Tyler said Fulton is on a contract year looking for a payday. He is on a contract year. He hasn't really talked about it, but this is a big year for him. No doubt about it. So everybody, I think that's going to just about do it for the show. Coming up Wednesday, we're definitely going to be talking about the practices with Minnesota. We're going to be definitely talking about maybe some guys that are looking good. They will be on the practice field tomorrow, and then they're going to head up to Minnesota and practice later this week with the Vikings, and then getting ready for the game on Saturday. I probably won't be able to watch the game much on Saturday because I will be celebrating my 40th birthday, which is on Thursday. So we are going to have a birthday episode of TNT tonight on Wednesday, the day before I turn 40. Definitely. So we're definitely going to be doing that. And then get ready for Saturday. Definitely gonna be doing a big shindig. I don't know if we'll have a projector showing the game, but I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on what's going on with that game with the Vikings. So believe me, I will definitely be paying attention. Priscilla on Facebook. Jay, what's up with y'all? But everybody, I think that's gonna just about do it for tonight's show. Thank you everybody for tuning in to TNT tonight. I'm your host, Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. Y'all have a very good rest of your Sunday. Make sure y'all spread this show out to everybody else who hasn't been able to attend. We're definitely on the road to 1,500 subscribers. Definitely help me get there before the beginning of the year. I'm definitely going to be trying to work on maybe a giveaway. If y'all know anybody that makes t-shirts, who I may be able to go into business with and everything, we're definitely going to try to get some more apparel. Definitely get up with me there. But thank everybody for tuning into the show. Again, I am your man, Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. I will see y'all on Wednesday night. And as always, tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.